Hold up, this is not the instrumental. Alright, instrumental flex. Custom made flavors. Individual 008. Am I on 00? Am I on 8 now? I don't even know. Yes. What's good, Jake? What's good, Tim? Welcome to Individual 008. Well, we give a little insight into creatives. Woo! I heard this tune in a minute. Yes, Tim. Yes, Jay. How you doing, man? Hey. We're just waiting for Daz. Daz is a music video director. He's gonna be giving us a bit of insight into his world and his creativity. Oh, Daz is in the room. Alright, let's do this. Give the wave to the peoples them and then get Daz to join. Yeah, Jake, I'm good, bruv. Just out here, taking each day as it comes, just doing what I can. Alright, let me see if I can add that. Hey. Daz, I've clicked so you can join. I don't know what's going on. I've invited you. Let me invite you again. But hold up, yeah, Jake. Also, that tune that you sent on the email, I've already sent some feedback to. Anyways, we got the man, we got the special guest. That's the director. How you doing?
What you saying, my bro? I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I just been watching clips of the Dave thing where he took like 500 pairs of Jordans out into central London. Did you see that?
Nah. Who?
Dave.
Oh,
Santan Dave.
see. Okay.
Yeah, man. Madness.
Mad.
But how you been,
No,
man?
I saw it. Yeah, not bad, man. Just getting ready with this live and just working away. Because I do like motion graphics in the daytime, so doing that. And a few plans that's not too dissimilar to your idea of having a creative hub, to be honest. So we
We're gonna have
we
to
can
talk
get
about
into
that.
that a little.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But yeah, how have you been?
I've been good, man. I've just been just trying to refocus my energies, man, and just trying to stay busy, bro. Just always trying to stay busy, man.
See. I hear that. With music video work or branching out with other stuff?
I mean, to be honest, for me, like the music video stuff is like, how do I say? I was gonna say I don't have to try it, but that sounds like bad gas. It's like I'm kind of in that industry, so I'm trying to branch out and trying to do other things, and trying to put my energies in other places. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that. Yeah, I'm in a. Well, I say I'm in a similar space. I've been juggling for time, so to be honest, it's one of them where I'm trying to do less.
For real?
Yeah, but it's more in the sense of not feeling burnt out. To be honest with you,
I hear that.
For years, I've just been like, I don't know, maybe it's the 50 Cent quote, maybe it was Nas, like, I'm never sleeping because sleep is a cousin of death. Oh, is the connection going mad? What's going on? Alright, Daz, I'm just checking my just where. Why can't I click on your name? Mantle. Alright, might have to start this again. Guys, bear with me. Daz has left. All right, let's start this again. Um, I might have to start this live again. Um, let's see if he's back. He's back. All right, boom. There you go.
Well, go on, man. I don't know what happened there,
Yeah,
bro.
I don't know what happened. It might have been me because I've got like an extender, which is like it doesn't even work that well. So I made
Oh,
sure I was on
okay.
the main broadband connection.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, where was I at? Yeah, just like I don't know if it's like maybe the mantra that I got from maybe Nas or 50 Cent of, well, Nas said, I remember him saying sleep is a cousin of death.
Mm.
So that, and then just probably my upbringing and just seeing how people worked around me. I don't know, I've been a workaholic without even knowing it's been a habit.
Yeah.
And then recently, although the way I get through burnout, I don't know, I just wait till Saturday. Well, I just wait till Saturday and I'll just sleep a little bit and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm
Yeah.
re-energized and ready to go. But I'm at a point now, I'm just like, what, like, I don't know, why am I doing everything that I'm doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I concentrate my energies like over here? So I guess I got to that space because like, I don't know, I did like a project with care leavers, people that have
Hmm.
been in foster care.
Yeah.
And it was such a sick project, but I was like, how can I do more of this? But then I'm over here doing animation, which is paying the bills. But cut long story short, it's just like I don't have to work as much as I do. I just kind of, it's just been a habit that I've done for
Yeah.
time.
But
But
are you?
better yet, on the flip side, it's like I've got to a space where I can say no. I don't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Are you the same as
Um,
me though? Do you get anxiety like if you don't work for a day? Like, do you kind of get that kind of like you need to be doing something productive to feel
yeah,
like? Do you know what I mean?
100%. So I even get a bit anxious when my partner's just like, oh, I'm gonna watch Netflix, and I'm gonna watch a couple series.
Yeah.
Like I can't do series. Like I'm down for a film, but after like it's like, oh, she wants to watch the second film
Yeah.
on another day of the week. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah. I gotta be doing this music over here. I gotta do this. I
Yeah.
gotta.
See,
But
I watch a lot of series, man, but I'm quite disciplined, so I will just watch one a day. Like, I don't really
yeah,
binge like that because I just can't. My time will not allow me to do that. So
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
mind watching one a day. That's fine, man. It's just an hour a day, isn't it? But
yeah. Yeah, my time. Yeah, I guess just my time management's mad. Because I guess my typical day is like I'll be doing like motion graphics. Let's say 9 to 5.
mm,
Then like around this time, I might feel a little bit fatigued. So I was like, all right, I won't work around 7. When it hits about 9 o'clock, I'm ready to get back into the game or whatever creative thing I need to
yeah.
do.
Mm,
Then let's say from 9 till 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll be working away. And then obviously the tiredness just builds up throughout the week because I keep on going to bed at two
yeah,
or 3 o'clock in the morning. But I've been doing that for time. I've been managing, but then it's just got to that point now. It's just like I don't want to feel like a zombie halfway through the
yeah.
week. And like it's like, and then more so, it's the bigger question of like, what am I doing all this for? Um,
100%. And you know, like as creatives, we always have to find a balance, man, because it is a lot of work, regardless of what you do in the creative industries. You're kind of expected, or you need to work a lot. Like it's not a 9 to 5. You don't put down your tools at 5 p.m. Like, do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And just like you being independent and being a freelancer, it's
Mm.
like, I don't know when the next. To a certain extent, although I know there's a pattern to work, for a long
Yeah.
time, I don't know when work's coming in, and especially when lockdown happened,
Hmm.
I think that was a transition. When I got a bit of work, I was just like, I'm just going to be a yes man to this work because
Yeah.
at the start of lockdown, everything just locked off, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know where money's going to come from. So, to be
Mm.
honest, I think I've just got into that zone of just like, let me just do everything because I don't want to be relying on any one source. I just got to make sure that there's enough for a rainy day for whenever the next madness happens.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I think, um, the whole Corona thing has kind of like made a lot of us think like this, which is,
Yeah.
which is why I'm trying to go in different directions. So my whole thing now is like, I don't want to just be able to make money when I'm present. So because then, you know, stuff like this happens, like obviously it's not going to happen all the time, but stuff like this happens, you realize that, you know, if you can't be somewhere to make money, like what's going to happen? Like, especially because we don't have job security. We don't have this, you know, healthcare and whatever and sick pay, you know, so we have to try and at least put a couple of eggs in different baskets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. Yeah, we should do a proper introduction. All right, peoples. The people, you know, a couple people tuned in. Maybe, you know, more to tune in after. But I need to give Daz a proper introduction. And to be honest, I usually get people to do their introduction themselves. But Daz has already sent me like the bio, so I'm gonna spill it. And then the guys that are tuned in at the moment, if you don't know who Daz is, when you hear me do the bio, if there's any questions you've got, put it in the question box. That's a tip I got from Tony, because usually I don't pay attention to anyone who's tuned in apart from the guest. So if you've got any questions after I tell you Daz's bio, then fire away in the questions box. All right, look, Daz is a visual director working predominantly in the music industry. He spent a large part of his early years as a hip hop artist, in which time he supported a host of major label acts on the live circuit, gained national TV synchronization coverage, and made it to the finals of 2 national competitions. After being disillusioned with the music game, which we're going to get into, he bought a video camera in 2015, and after making videos for friends initially, enrolled into university in 2016 to study film. Since then, he's established himself as an accomplished director, working with artists such as DEE, Kojo Funds, Swiss, and Bruza, to name a few. Whilst also being nominated for national awards for his music video work, he has also worked with brands such as Rinse FM and Porsche Carrera Cup racing series. In 2021, Daz has just finished writing his first short film script, which will be going into production at the end of the year. And as well as this, he and his business partner are going to acquire a large space as a creative hub, which will offer services such as film studio, music studio, podcast room. And Daz hopes that to be a space to start a youth program for disadvantaged kids to get into the music video space. So yeah, so guys, if you got any questions based on Daz's bio, then hit up the question box and we'll look at that. But yeah, Daz, well, the first thing I wanted to get into, to be honest, was being disillusioned by the music game. I wanted you to break that down and get more into that.
Yeah, I mean the music thing is tough, man. I mean, like the game. Imagine I was putting out singles in like 2011, so the game is so different to how it is now. It's like, it's mad, isn't it, when you think about it, you know. I mean, the percentage of rappers, UK rappers, actually making a viable career out of rap back then was, you know, very, very tiny.
Yeah,
you know,
far between,
And then, I mean, now I guess there's more competition now. It does seem like there's more people that are doing it. But I mean, you know, like for me, it's always like you have to balance it between, you know, like the love of doing it and like whether it's viable. So at the point where if I was just enjoying doing it the whole time and, you know, I wasn't managing to make it a full-time career, fine. It's just a hobby, innit? I enjoy doing it. But towards the end, I wasn't enjoying it. So then you've got to ask yourself, like, why are you doing this for? Like, why? Do you know what I mean? So for me, it was always like, and you're probably the same, obviously, when you make a project, you know, that you spent a lot of time on, you expect a certain amount of, I don't want to say attention, because it's not even like an attention-seeking thing, but you expect a certain amount of something to come from it, regardless of what it is. Like, you just want people to be aware of it. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
No, I hear what you're saying for sure. There's one part of me that's just like, I've tried to avoid having expectations. Because that's the point at which, let's say, Jungle Brown got to a label being involved, and I expected so much from the label, and then basically it was this. I felt disappointed by the situation, and even the situation now. But it's like, I've learned that, the happiness has to be internally, and if if on the most part, if it's not coming from that space, then
Yeah,
it's very difficult.
yeah.
But I'm quite curious on, so what was your thought process in the sense of the transition from being a hip hop artist to being a music video director?
It was, you know what it was? It was an opportunistic moment. Like someone on Facebook was selling a camera,
Yeah.
a little, what they called 550D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My first
those
camera
times.
too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
2015, whenever it was. Um, I just thought, yeah, man. Like, how much? It was about 250 pound. I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. Obviously, my own music videos, I was kind of like coming up with the concepts and basically directing them anyway. So, yeah, man. I knew I could fit in better to that space. Cause like with the music thing, yeah, like I'm honest to the point where like I can say I wasn't the best rapper. Like
Mm.
I know I wasn't a shit rapper. I know I could rhyme and I could write music, but I wasn't a star. Do you know what I mean? Like I can be
Mm.
honest enough to say like I didn't have whatever the stars have got. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's quite easy for me to go, all right, cool. Like this ain't really for me. But however, I do know that I'm a creative, and I do know that I have good ideas, and I
Mm.
could be easy to work with. So that transition probably made the most sense for me at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I
Yeah.
was getting to a certain age where I was like, I don't really want to be rapping if it's not coming towards anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I know that's not a great mentality, but you know, like,
No, I hear, bro. I hear you. To be honest with you, like I'm in the space now where I'm questioning, like what is like rapping. To be
mm,
honest with you,
mm,
like, and it's interesting because if you spoke to me, what I don't know, a year ago, that I had no thought in mind. But I think it's more for me. It's more about like, all right, Jungle Brown were in a situation where it's just like, all right, cool. Like we finally like signed an album to a label.
yeah,
Like this is a big moment. We're going to be going on a European tour. Like this is mad. All right, cool. Let's roll with it because that's a brand new experience and people are loving the music. Then as soon as lockdown happened, obviously European tour locked off.
mm,
And to be honest with you, the where Jungle Brown was, we needed to have a break.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
on the front, without wearing a mask, yes, the show was what was keeping us alive, but behind the scenes, we all needed to have a break.
mm,
So I was like, boom, that's cool. And because of like kind of my solo journey, a lot of my music was old, so I needed to like double down and just like get everything out of me.
yeah,
Um, in the sense of having a bottleneck situation, I just like, there's so much I want to say. I don't want to be relying on one project that I did like years ago because I'm so much better now.
yeah,
So, because I went ham and did like, what, 2 albums and an EP in lockdown, I'm like, oh, I ain't got nothing else to say now. Like, uh, mainly because we've been in the same experience, obviously,
mm,
for the same year, and there's only so
yeah,
much I can be inspired by these four walls.
yeah, yeah,
But also because yeah, I'm 34, I'm 35 now, I'm even forgetting my age. But I'm at a point where I'm just like, I'm questioning about, all right, cool, what does the future look like
yeah,
being 35?
yeah,
Um, so that's why I'm looking at, all right, cool, with these little projects that I've done, helping others that are
mm,
younger,
mm-hmm,
I could get them on a platform much quicker, hopefully. Being a mentor, just having a space for them to create, and
yeah,
just giving some of the gems I've learned along the way. So that I'm in a similar space of just like, all right, cool, what now? What now, Ray?
mm,
But yeah, that's half the reason why I just needed to rest, just to like, all right, let me figure out what's the next plan.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, we'll see. Um,
But
but
you've been productive, man. You've been putting out a good amount of stuff and quality stuff. So with you, I can see the elevation, the progression. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
with me around those times when I stopped making music, I think it was about 2013, 2014. I still made little bits. I went into spoken word and stuff like that. But
yeah.
the last project I'd done, I hated it when it came out.
Oh, really?
I deleted it because like I basically like around those times, which was like couple of years after I moved to London, I split up with my ex-girlfriend. I was living in like a really small room in a house, like I wasn't in my best headspace. And I made this music, and it wasn't really personal music. It was like some any music. And then, but that was kind of like getting me through that moment. And then, but when I come to put it out, I listened to it back and I was like, nah, this ain't good enough. So I just dashed it off. Like that was it. That was the last project I made.
See, but that's the thing. So, like, all right, you still obviously I know you still rap now every now and again. Like, you put a few bars on the gram.
Just a little Instagram thing. That's it.
But so, like, you're still writing then?
Yeah, but usually, I mean, I don't think I ever stopped writing music to some degree because I do still find some kind of release from it. And
Do you produce as well?
Nah. Like, ironically enough, I feel like I'm a better rapper now than I ever was. Just because I feel like with age I've become more comfortable within myself. I'm not trying to put on an act to people or whatever. Because, you know, like with rap, there's a certain amount of like, what do they call it? Braggadocio. The whole bragging. And that's genuinely not me in real life. So I kind of got caught up in that whole, like, you know, I'm the shit. I'm better than you. And that's not me. But my best projects was when, you know, I just spoke about my own experiences, you know, introspective kind of vibes. Like that was really the way I connected with people the most.
Yeah, I hear that. It's the same with me. Just the way I got my lane was literally like I was like, all right, cool. If hip hop's the voice of the voiceless, why have I never heard from, you know, being fostered in Bournemouth? Why have I never heard about being fostered essentially? And that's pretty much gave me the lane that I'm in now. But it's funny because like, yeah, you're a sponge to your environment, and the irony, what I find interesting about, all right, like, cause you were raised in Poole, right?
Nah, Christchurch.
Christchurch. Oh, really? Oh, for some reason I thought you're around Poole way.
No, I was Somerford, man. That's my bit.
Summerford
Estate. Yeah.
So Christchurch, Summerford. I don't even remember. Like, I used to live in Southbourne. I was fostered in Southbourne in the late part. Man, I didn't even know Christchurch. All right, but yeah, I was gonna say like you're a sponge to your environment. So just like I find it interesting the transition of it might just be age again, but just like being in Bournemouth to like being in London and the mentality.
Yeah.
Like, how have you found that? Like, in the sense of, I don't know, creativity, or in the sense of like like, how was your transition basically from Bournemouth to London?
The actual what at the start, the transition or the overall?
Yeah, or more so, to be honest, it's more from a creative point of view. Just like, is there a difference? I don't know. Like, is there a difference in mindset? Is there a difference in like, I don't know, hunger?
Bro, there's a difference in everything. Like, there's a difference in everything. Like, it's just the whole vibe is mad different. But I mean, like, what I would say, when I moved to London, I moved into my ex-girlfriend's parents' house, and I lived there for about a year or so. So a lot of my time was spent with her, and you know, she used to be a singer, so we used to do stuff together.
Yeah.
So a lot of my early experiences were kind of like centered around her, and you know what she knew, and you know whatever. And then, like I said, I went through that funny stage. Then I moved out of that place, and I think from there, really, that's when my kind of creative experience started to grow, because that was around the same time I got a camera. So yeah, man, and you know, all that time I've kind of, you know, been out on my own, collaborating with people, whatever, and just built like a real whole set of creatives that I'm around or that I've worked with. So,
see, the transition from, let's say, doing videos for mates to it being your full time or your bread and butter. Like,
yeah.
I'm even curious on that transition because, to be honest, like even probably the time that you knew me, well, first knew me, like I graduated from uni and I was doing videos for friends.
Yeah.
And like when I think about how much I used to charge back then,
Bro, your videos are
it's
sick.
just
You talk about like
yeah,
miles and that. Yeah.
yeah.
That's some of those videos are sick, bro.
But that's what I mean. So like I loved it. I loved it. I remember I was in the zone. I was in the flow state doing these videos.
Mm.
But to be honest with you, I couldn't fathom how to make it. Well, I probably should have stuck it longer, but how to make it a job in the
Yeah.
sense of I spent like, to be real with you, I spent what two? I remember I spent at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks on Mars's video,
Yeah.
and like
That was like the
I
stop
think
motion thing, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. And to be honest, you know, I was learning about grading at the time. I was like, there's some things in After Effects, and there's some things I was learning. But yeah, like from start to finish, it probably took about 3 weeks. And I remember I charged him 150,
Mm.
and I was just thinking, all right, if I divide this by days,
Yeah, it's a mazza.
how's this gonna work? So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm curious in the sense of your transition of getting to a point where it's just like, all right, um, I'm loving doing this for friends, but how do I like
Mm.
now I've made this my full-time thing or my main bread and butter? Like, how
Yeah.
was that transition?
So I was doing bits and bobs. So I was doing friends, and then I done kind of friends of friends. But even I say now, I didn't spend as much time on those videos, but I was charging less than you. Like them times, like I was charging like, bro, I was charging like £80, £100. Like
Yeah,
it was like mad. But they were just like freestyle type videos. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, yeah, man. And then like, I went to uni to do audio because I was into my sound engineering at the time. Like I was getting quite good at sound engineering. Um, and I
Did you
spent,
master and engineer your own
yeah,
music?
most of it. Yeah, most of it, man. Most of it. I had a little
Mm,
home studio. I used to have people come around and that. Um, but like I went to do the audio course, a degree, and I lasted about 6 or 7 months, and I just realized like this ain't for me. And
mm,
what I don't want to do now is, you know how much money these uni cost, yeah. And I went to like an
yeah,
independent uni, so I had to pay, I think it was an extra like 6 grand a year on top of the grant or whatever, on top of the
yeah,
student loan. So
yeah,
like I
yeah.
thought I can't like just keep going on like this because I'm not really enjoying it. Um, but those times I was just starting to film and that in it, so I managed to speak. They had a film course at the same university at SAE in Hackney, and I
Mm,
managed to persuade them to let me start. Like I think they let me start like a term late or whatever, because I showed him what I was doing. I said, look, I'm doing certain things already. You know, I'm not like a complete beginner. Can I just skip this term? Because
yeah,
otherwise, I was about to wait another year because they were only doing
mm,
submissions once a year. So yeah, he let me go on the course. So the degree only took me, I think it was like a year and a half, because it was already a 2 year accelerated degree.
okay,
So yeah, a year and a half later, I was out there. But in that time at uni, I met Troy. So is Troy's a bit of an old school grime legend, isn't it? Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
filmed all the practice hours and run the roads and all that. But me and him were like the older guys at uni, innit? So
yeah,
from when he walked in, sat at the back, like obviously me and him at the back, I looked at him, I
yeah,
thought, yeah, like we just started chatting, we knew or worked with some of the same people, whatever. And then yeah, it went from there. So me and him formed like a production team. Yeah,
mm,
that's how that started. And I was lucky because Troy had a lot of good equipment. Like
mm,
he had a lot better equipment. I was still filming on my little Canon 6D those times and that. So
yeah,
yeah, he had the big Movi and the Blackmagic cameras and whatever. So that really gave me like a grounding into working with, you know, more cinematic stuff and, you know, being able to have choices and lighting and all that type of stuff.
mm.
So yeah, big up Troy, man.
Yeah. Big up Trey. Yeah, bro, because yeah, you guys worked on my Do You music video.
Yeah.
Um, Jungle Brown's Lumin, although like we took it down eventually. Like it did look sick. That was one of our sickest videos. We were just like basically when the label situation happened, we were just like 50-50 on tunes in it. It's just like
Mm.
like yeah, that tune needs to come down, but the video was dope, proper.
The tune was different. I think the reason it didn't work is because you had a certain brand that the tune didn't quite go into that brand. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
you know what? Yeah, no, you're right. No, that's the thing about the Jungle Brown brand, though, because obviously, like, you know, the member that like left, and it's like it
Yeah,
transition. We're going through our at that time. We were going through our transition of really honing
yeah,
in all of our tastes. Because I even remember we had a booking agent, and as soon as we brought out the second album, they kind of went weird on us, and I think it wasn't very clear why they went like a bit weird, but I think it's because we went from like just having a boom bap sound to
yeah,
being more encompassing of the music that we're into.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's what it is. But yeah, video was cold. Um, but yeah, bro. So the transition for you of making it like full time, how would you say that? Yeah, I just want to like dig into that more.
So
How long
yeah,
did it take?
yeah. So we came out of uni. Uh, what was it? August 2017. Yeah, 20 end of 2017. It might have been later than that because the way the course was set up. I think we might have finished. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, August, September 2017. We came out of uni. Um,
2017. Lumen
2017.
was
Yeah.
probably 2017 as well, wasn't it? 2018.
It might have been just after that. I don't
Might
think
be
we was at uni at
2018.
that time. Yeah.
2018. Okay.
To be honest, like we wasn't really doing a lot because I was focusing on the uni stuff and everything. Um, but I just kind of made a decision that, you know what, I'm just gonna come out of here and not get a job. I'm just gonna like bang it. Like I'm just gonna bang it. Like
Yeah.
cool. So I went on all the Instagram hashtags, adding up the rappers, like the artists, the
Yeah.
singers, whatever. We'd worked with a few people at that point, but like we wasn't established or nothing, and we wasn't getting
Yeah.
enough work to make it a career because obviously we were splitting the money 50-50 as well, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
made it even harder.
Yeah.
Them times, and like we was charging cheaper than I charge for a video now, and that's just on my own. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
money wise, bro, I ain't even lying. The first year and a half or 2 years, it was tough, man. It was
Yeah. Yeah.
tough. I my,
Yeah.
my yeah my nah fuck it. I don't know how I got by. I don't know how I got
Yeah.
by, and I still supported my son and all of that kind of stuff. Because I write down like what I've earned in on a iPhone note thing, just so I can keep
Mm.
track. So I've been doing that since we came out of uni. But sometimes I'll scroll down and I'll have a look and I'll be like, oh my god, how did I survive on that? Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
even now I'm earning like more money, but like the money goes in it, bro. Like sometimes the
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
just goes,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel
Bro,
like it doesn't.
that's why I wanted you to like, yeah, like without going into obviously figures, like just like the whole point of this is kind of just to give the younger generation a bit of insight into actually, I don't want to say, yeah, like make it a career as a
Yeah,
musician, as a music video director, because like just like and it's interesting hearing what you say because from my point of view, as I said, when I was doing videos for Miles and even Mo and whatever, I just got to a point I just like these guys are just like me. They have
mm,
no money. They like and like I know label. I remember at the time I contacted Jamal at SBTV and like because that was the thing that was popping back then.
yeah,
And he was like, yeah, we like your work, but we've got a slot coming up in 2-3 months. Let's do this, and that. I was like, nah, I can't even wait 2-3 months. I need to get out of my mum's. I need to, I need to like be active and have my own place. And I
mm,
was like, and then I remember who did I contact? MTV at the time. When did I graduate? 2009, 2010. Yeah, I
mm,
remember I contacted like MTV because MTV was still a thing back then. They wasn't like because they like kind of aired my email.
yeah,
I remember I was so hungry, I just went into the building, went past security. Security was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Bro, I just need to get my CV in here. Like, I really need a job. Like, I like, please, if you're gonna take this off me, please get it to the right person,
mm,
so I can just get a job in here." He's like, "Look, I respect your passion. I'm gonna get it to the right person," and that's actually how I creative director at MTV actually contacted me just
Sick.
based on my passion of just running in the building.
Yeah.
But the mad thing about me is that I basically got a motion graphics job in Richmond, out of all places. And I was living in Hackney, so I was commuting for an hour and a half, like getting up 7:30 in the morning, going over to there by 9. And let's just say that job was like double of what MTV were paying, because MTV were paying me basically like an internship.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd love to be around music, but now I can't go down to half. And I did a couple like little things for Maya, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that because I looked at like artists that I knew, like just like me, like they haven't really got the funds. It's only these corporations. I was just like, all right, let me do my thing over here with these corporations, and then this will just be like not even a side hustle. This will just be like my little creative outlet, and just see how it goes. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm curious on your journey of how like whether it was like, all right, cool. Is it because you're predominantly working with labels, or is it? I remember Maya brought this up. Is it the trappers? Like, you know what I mean? Like in the sense of like who, like I'm curious on how does the independent game work unless it's like a middle class indie rock band. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it can vary, man. Like, I work with, I ain't trying to bait no one up. Like, I work with, it's not baiting anyone up. I work with some artists that are funded by other people, probably as a way to like clean that money or clear that money or whatever. Do you know what I mean? On a thing. So like there is money there, like with certain people, but like some people just self-fund it, man. Some people have got enough to pay for a 2K budget or less than that or whatever. Like some, it's calm, man. Some people have got like a management company that are putting in money. Some of it's with labels. Like it's a variation, man. But like obviously the lower down rung you get, like when people are self-funding it, they just want it for as cheap as possible. But I'm kind of in a stage now where I'm trying to explain to people. So you got my fee. I've got a lighting team now that I work with on any shoot where we can, we've got the money for them. Shouts to Verbs the gaffer. Also, we've got locations, we've got props, like all these mans want to have cars and girls and whatever else. Like I try and steer away from that stuff. But anyway, that's everything that they want. So obviously, when it comes to paying the person making a video, sometimes they want to try and chop you down as much as they can. So maybe they can afford that next model with the big back. Do you know what I mean? So it's always like, it's always sometimes you have to negotiate with people, man. But I know I'm becoming more comfortable in knowing my worth. For one, like, obviously I always give preference to people that give me a lot of custom. But B, the most important one is I have to kind of be not necessarily a fan of the music, but I have to rate the music, rate the talent. And then I'm prepared to do a little bit more. Like, I know it's a bit thingy to say, like, I put in more effort on some videos, but if like I really like the track, or if I like the track and the person, like I'll be prepared to maybe give up another day of filming or whatever for free because I want this video to be as good as possible. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, 100% hear that. Because I was actually going to say to you, so I don't know if I said this to you before, but like, behind the scenes, like, do you feel sometimes, or have you done this actually, you have to be like a kind of a talent scout? I think I got this from someone who was doing videos for Jesse J back in the day, but do you feel like you have to be a kind of like, strategically, I don't know if you got to do this, but do you feel you have to be a sort of talent scout into who you look to do videos for? In the sense of like, because like, I'm kind of just putting it out there. Let's say if you thought someone's going to be the it's kind of a mad comparison. You think someone's going to be like the next Adele.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, all right, no, I see something special in this person. And obviously, it's a win-win situation, because if your taste, and as you said, like if you really like the music, then it's a win-win situation anyway.
100%, 100%. And I was working like that for a while, trying to find people, especially like female singers and that, because they're just less hassle than rappers, and like, you know, and you know, the main thing is they're often more open to creative concepts. Like, in 5 years' time, I just know for sure I don't want to be filming them outside the block while their dog's barking into my camera. Like, I'm kind of done with that to a certain degree. Some of those videos, some of the videos are cool, but like, I want to really put my stamp on my videos so people know like there's something in there a little bit different. That's a director thing, because a lot of these other directors are just churning out the same video over and over again, and it kind of gets boring.
Same treatment. Yeah. No, I was gonna say. I guess you kind of mentioned that on the story about I don't want to moan about other rappers, but I'm curious more so, like, how has it been on like the creative balance within the music video game?
What do you mean, the creative balance?
Yeah, just like, actually, all right, you got the sickest idea, but this particular artist is like, nah, I just want this over here. Like, I don't want this out there idea.
Yeah, I just save them now. I save them for someone else. Okay. So like, I've had many conversations with people where I've been like, this is a sick one. They're gonna love this, and then they're like, they come back, they're like, yeah, sick, but my friend's got access to like a Lamborghini, and we can get these Insta models, like they're like, and you know, it'll give our video all these views, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll still shoot them videos, but I don't really post them on my thing no more. So like, if you went to my Insta profile and you looked, I don't know, 2 years ago, I was posting everything I made, everything, bam, 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 and it just looked like I was way busier. Like now I'm probably more busy, but I'm just making sure that the ones that I put up are the ones that I want to project, because I find that if I do like a road video or whatever, I start getting loads of inquiries from that kind of field. So I will still do those videos because I still need to eat and all of that kind of stuff, but I don't post them because it just I know what I'm trying to attract now, and it's not necessarily that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's that's the wave. That's how you got to do it. Because to be honest, even with me and my motion graphics work, to be real, the way I started was, technically I was jazzing up PowerPoints. That was the cusp of the work I was doing. So I remember when I transitioned into freelance, I was saying to the agency, I was like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do stuff for TV. But really, I was just getting jazzed up PowerPoint work. What's going on here? Until someone let me through the door, gave me a chance, and be like, all right, cool, we'll let you work on this little ad, or we'll let you work on this and that. And now more of that's coming through the door. But even then, even the work I was doing today, when I look at it, like, it was basically like a show reel for I can say the name, for TikTok internally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But to me, it was just it was like a jazzed up PowerPoint. So it's like, all right, cool. I'm glad I'm doing it for, like, you know, brands and platforms that are smashing it now. But basically, it's just paying the bills, and I'm keeping that behind the scenes. No one needs to see that show reel because it's not that cool.
Yeah. I hear that.
But yeah, you definitely get whatever work you put out there, it will reciprocate. So you have to be careful about what you put out there. Yeah, bro. What 100%. Else was I going to ask you, actually? So I've got a load of little questions here now. Oh yeah, I was going to say about, only because I was thinking about writer's blocks. I was like, do you get director's block? But I guess you got ideas, as you're saying, you got ideas in the bag for.
I've got ideas in the bag, and I've also got a lot of the way that I construct ideas. Sometimes, if I'm kind of stuck, I've got like a locations database, like a whole, you know, Google Chrome folder. I save pictures in my phone and save them under location. So sometimes if I'm kind of like stuck, I'll have a look through them, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I haven't used that before. and then the idea can start forming around what we've got available in that location. You know what I mean? I just done a video for a girl actually. She's called Michaela Cara, so yeah, shout out to her. And I was just going through the locations thing, trying to find, and I found like in Tottenham marshes, there's like all these reeds with these electricity pylons in the background.
Yeah.
And I'd saved that location, yeah, and then I thought we're gonna do it there. And then as I was thinking more, I was coming up with ideas. So you know, we're gonna have like in a red dress, but the dress is gonna be like long, like you know, like I wanted it to be like a 2-3 meters long, like just trailing. Yeah. It didn't happen like that because the dress he got was only like a you know, a regular dress. Like it would have taken a lot to get fabric on there and all of that. But yeah, the video came out sick. We kind of formed it from there and then came up with additional ideas from that point. Do you know what I mean? So that helps as well. That helps as well, man.
You know what? I haven't applied to any of these questions, but let's just look at a few. All right, this last one. I'm building a film studio. What's the dream equipment? What's your dream equipment?
Oh God. Building a film studio. I'm in the same position right now myself. But I don't know, like in regards to lighting or camera or whatever, people love the sky panels and the Arri sky panels. I don't know how much they cost, but they're like a mad thing. They're like a madness. But cameras, man, obviously, you know, Arri Alexas and all of that, that's the dream, man, but it just costs too much money, bro. But what I want to do in my studio is kind of, there's a lot of like white wall studios in London, right? A lot of infinity codes and all that type of stuff. So I just want to offer people something different that are on maybe working at my kind of budgets where they can't afford the set design and all that type of stuff. So my whole idea around this was to basically change different aspects of the room over time. So every 3 months or so. So we're basically set designing the place for the people. So if people are on a tighter budget, they know they only have to pay for the rental of the place. They don't have to bring all this stuff into, you know, and maybe they can base ideas around what's available to them in the studio. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just seeing this other question. I hope you're recording this chat. It should be sent to all colleges and unis. Alright. Yeah, to be honest, I'm saving it as long as like Instagram doesn't glitch on me. I'll save it. Got to get the juicy stuff for the unis and colleges then.
I'm lucky I didn't say the bit where I was going to say that I didn't learn much at uni.
Yeah, no, but that's real. But on the flip side though, like even for me, like I reckon you relate. Like you learn most on the job. Like
100%.
Uni is a weird one. I like when I get asked, like, oh, should I go to uni or not? I'm just like, it's up to you because you have to be very self-disciplined.
Yeah.
Uni, I mean, if anything, uni just gave me time. I guess it gave me time and access to equipment that I didn't know beforehand.
Yeah.
That even the 550D, I wouldn't have had access to it anywhere else. I had access to it at uni, and I was like, all right, let me get one outside of uni. But I think it's that access, and what I got from what you said about meeting Troy, it's not only access; it's just being with people that are on the same wavelength as you.
Yeah.
I think that's the main value of uni, because otherwise, you could have been in Christchurch on your own, trying to think of mad things, but because your environment's not reflecting where you want to go, it's like I mean, people just looking at you mad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I could say about uni.
I mean, the most valuable thing that uni gave me was time. Like, it gave me time because before that I was working on the building site, bro, and I was trying to do the creative thing at night, and, you know, it was like, I was doing hard labor. Like, sometimes I don't want to do creative work at night, and also it's quite draining for your mind and your body. Do you know what I mean? So as soon as I started uni, it was like a culture shock to me, because a lot of times when I was working 9 to 5, I was maybe going to bed at 12 o'clock. I think I was getting up about 5 in the morning, doing the whole physical thing again, coming home, trying to do creative work. So it was like a good culture shock for me when I started uni, because I was like, yo, like, cool. If I've got like, when when I was working 9 to 5, if I had a sick idea, or if I, sometimes you get on a roll, whether it's music or editing videos or whatever, I was having to cut it short because I had to go to work in the morning. Do you know what I mean? But now I've found that my creative hours are kind of 2 in the morning, 1, 2 in the morning. That's usually when I go to bed, like 2, 3 in the morning. So I've realized this whole other dimension, because I know now that's kind of my peak time. So all of that time, I wasn't utilizing my peak time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I relate. Yeah, time. Like, I thought, like, that's why I said I even need like rest time now, because half the battle of like knowing what's next is just like I just literally need to give myself time to be like, all right, cool. What's the next goal? What's the next part of the journey? So yeah, that's definitely probably hit the nail on the head. That's probably the most valuable thing about uni. It just gives you time to actually explore.
100%, 100%.
What else is all right, Josh, what are you saying? Would you say to invest in newer camera body or lenses? I feel lenses allow for more variation. We're going in with the camera questions, all right?
What do you mean, newer as in newer brand? The brand newer?
Newer camera body.
Oh,
I
that
guess
doesn't mean the brand, does it?
nah,
Say it
just
again.
the newer camera.
What's the question?
I guess would you say to invest in a newer camera body
Yeah.
or lenses? I feel lenses allow for more variation. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Basically, new camera or new lenses.
it's like the age-old thing, but a lot of people say that the lens makes the image, but I mean, I disagree with that. I think it's a bit of both. It is a bit of both, but when you start using good lenses, man, they just look so much different. Like, if you use some like cruddy little kit lens when you start out, and then you go and use like what are the ones you use for the short film? Bloody and these cinema lenses, they cost like 20 bags. Like, when you start using stuff like that and you see how sharp they are and everything, it's like, wow, like, it's mad. It's mad.
Yeah.
But even now, I use like little Zeiss lenses now, like good quality lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Zeiss is a brand on its own, innit? But I think Sony and Zeiss done some kind of partnership for Sony cameras. But this is like a Canon fit one. But yeah, man, like, even that compared to like one of the old kit lenses I've got in there, like, it's like night and day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know it from my little journey of having this like L lens.
That's the L, yeah. What's that? The 24-105, yeah.
24 to 70.
Okay, nice.
2.8. But even having this I think before it having like my little 50mm 1.8, my Nifty 50.
Yeah, but they're sick though. The 50mm are sick, man.
To be honest, I don't know I don't know what Josh's budget is, but yeah, starting out, I always recommend the 50mm 1.8 because it's for the money and for the quality,
unbelievable
bokeh and whatnot. Yeah, it's amazing.
I think my one cost like, what was it, £80 or something when I first got my camera. Mad. For the quality, like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Those times, like, when you just started and then you're looking at the image, you're like, yo, actually,
all you need to do is see that blur at 1.8. It's like, yo, this is the one.
Yeah.
I'm creating movies now. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, like, the camera's important as well, like, because there's a lot of like clients that don't really know. So a lot of clients based who they're looking for based on like what resolution your camera is or what type of camera you've got. So it's also important. But I will say one thing, up until when did I buy my 4K? Like,
what are you shooting on now?
I'm shooting on the 6K, Blackmagic 6K. But up until a year and a half ago, we were shooting on 1080, bro. Like, it was the micro cinema camera, but everyone was saying how mad our visuals looked like that paired up with the lenses, like madness, like cinematic, because everyone was shooting on Sonys and whatever. So we had something a little bit different. This was before Blackmagic got big, but like, so up until that time I was shooting 1080. So I ain't fussed with the resolution thing, apart from the fact that with a higher resolution you're able to punch in on the image, so you can do certain effects without losing the resolution. Apart from that, it's pretty much a gimmick, innit? But
yeah. But I noticed the image quality thing because I remember you know, back when I was doing videos with my little 550,
Mm.
or even I upgraded to 700D, but still it's the same sensor.
Yeah.
At that time, I remember like Sony coming out. I remember like the Panasonic GH4. I had a friend that shot the In the City video for Jungle Brown on the Blackmagic,
Mm.
and just the image quality from all of them cameras, like GH4, GH5, Sony, Blackmagic. I was just like, yo, this is like 20 times better than the Canon. Like,
Yeah.
even when I've had friends who've had the 6D, I'm just like, what's going on? I thought Canon was like the industry standard, but yeah, it's a madness. And you can always, I remember back then, especially like SBTV times, you could it got to a point where you could tell when you saw a Canon.
Yeah.
So like even when I have friends talk to me, they're like, oh yeah, but nah, that's just like Canon. We want it to be like proper cinema. And then the transition happened, right? But
Yeah. But I can tell that with Sony now. I can tell when stuff's filmed on Sony, it has a certain look. It's got like a kind of ray shadow type look. It's like it's bait, but like each cameras have their looks in it. It's fine. But yeah, I can always tell when something's filmed on a Sony.
All right, Josh. I think your question's answered. What else was I gonna say? I guess the only other couple questions. I mean, we'll go into the Creative Hub, but the Porsche Carrera opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about?
Yeah, it's a funny one actually. One of the guys that I went to uni with on the audio thing, his dad had like a race team. So his dad had the race team. So that's how I got to do the promo for that event, which was quite interesting. We went to Brands Hatch.
Okay.
I think it was like the last race of the season we done. But even that was like early in my career, innit? Like I was still filming on the 6D those times.
See,
but
you know what? Because when I saw it, I thought it might have been connected to Cairo Cause. Because I know he was at the Porsche dealership.
He loves his wits, though. Kai loves his wits, man. But no, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that. I was actually gonna do some more work for them actually recently. But yeah, man. Just had to tell them that. I just had to tell them that obviously the prices are way different now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
cool. Because carry on.
It's hard to have that conversation with people sometimes because if they haven't like given you a job for a long time, in their head like nothing has changed. Even if they can see your work and they could go, oh, like come on, he's got way better. But they still think they're gonna come to you with a little 150.
But the madness, the thing is the madness though, like, because I've been thinking more about strategy and work and like, for instance, we'll get on to your Creative Hub, but just even in the sense of understanding there's so much funds for like help in charity and helping disadvantaged children.
Yeah.
And I had a mentality before of just like, oh, this is my little fee over here, but this is passion. Like I don't mind helping.
Yeah.
And then honestly, some of the conversations that I've had and people just like blasé telling me about offering this footballer just to like turn up, shake hands and like leave and not really doing much for the young person and that fee. And it's like, all right, you got that money, but it's like, nah, we can't run like this no more. Like, I know you got money, and it's like, I'm actually passionate about this project. This is not just a little 5-minute handshake and then a photo and then gone. This is like, this could actually change a young person's life. So, anyways, what I was thinking, like, because this is Porsche, that's the client. It's just like, it's not like money is not a thing, but it's just like they got to know the levels because it's Porsche. It's not your friend on the estate. It's like literally, like you got to have money to go into your advertising and your campaigns, and we know how much the car is. So surely, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear that.
So, yeah, bro. The Creative Hub. Yeah, how so? Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. How did the idea come about, and how's that going?
So the idea stemmed before the whole COVID thing. To be honest, the idea, because I remember at uni I done like a 5-year plan thing for an essay, and it was part of that because it was always in my mind to have a studio, and to be able to offer it up once a week for people of disadvantage or inner city or whatever, to be able to train them up into getting into this industry. So just before COVID, all right. So me and another director found a place, found a studio. It was a good size. Like it was like 1,000 square foot. It was good enough for us to do what we wanted to do. Like we was just about to sign a contract and put a deposit down. Bam! COVID happened. So literally, I was away. I went away to work in like Barcelona, and then when I came back, I can't remember what date I came back, but it was after my birthday. My birthday's on the 7th of March, so I must have come back on like the 12th, something like that. Yeah. So I went and shot a video, and then I celebrated my birthday out there. So when I came back, the country was going mad. And then like I've got this guy telling me, "Oh, the contracts are ready. Come sign the thing, innit?" So like a day after, they've called the lockdown, and I literally had like 8. I must be about 8 jobs. Bam, just went.
Yeah.
Because this was like unprecedented, man. Like people, at the time we thought that if you go out in the street, because I remember when they first called the lockdown, yeah, and I thought I need to get something from the shop, but they've already called the lockdown, innit? So I thought I'm just gonna have to go to see if the shop's open, innit? But anyway, the shop wasn't open. But when I went out, it was bare like eerie. I mean, I live in East London, so it's fucking eerie anyway. Do you know what I mean? But everything was a little bit weird. And then I saw like the feds, like the police driving down the road. I thought like, oh my God, like this is proper. Like
it was zombie. It looked like it could be a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like 28 days later kind of vibe at the start of lockdown.
Yeah. So that whole thing was like, yo, like, we just thought that we couldn't do anything during that time. So all my jobs got cancelled. I had to have a conversation with the owner of the property and say, look, like, come on, like, we just can't put money down on this right now. It just doesn't make any sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
But he said he was understanding and that, but I kind of get the idea. He was a little bit pissed off at the same time. But like, I was like, bro, like, you don't know whether you're gonna have to close down. But what happened was they ended up staying open. He said because of the restrictions or whatever, they were allowed to get around it because you couldn't work from home. It was like a big complex, a creative complex. But I mean, us being actually able to make money from that at that time is a whole other thing. Like we wouldn't have been able to rent out the place a lot. Like, do you know what I mean? Or if at all. So it wasn't really that situation where we was able to take it on. So obviously I had to like get rid of that one. And then from that time, obviously everything's been a little bit. So when the lockdown, I went down to Bournemouth. I went back to Bournemouth, took my son down there. Was probably there for like 2 months. It's like just like I just thought, just forget about everything, mate. Just go down there. There's more space. My mum's got a big garden. Like there's the beach there. Like I know this will be better for my mental health if I stay in Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean? Around family and that, rather than just
of course,
being stuck in my house. So that's what I did. And obviously it's just been so topsy-turvy because last summer, like when we came out of the lockdown, last summer was good for me in regards to work. Like it was good. I managed to build up my money again, but obviously, bam, we get into November again, and then bam, it's like,
Do
you know what I mean? So my money went down again, and then I've kind of built it up now, so I'm at a point where I'm ready to do it again. But this whole time I've been looking for places, but it's just this. I'm obviously I hope with all my heart that we don't get into another lockdown situation again. So hopefully we can just move forward and put together the plans, because I remember in 2020, at the start of 2020, I was like, you know what, like I feel like this is the time for me to have more I just feel like I've got more self-belief and I've got more, I guess, courage to go for something without worrying too much, because in my earlier years, like in my 20s and that, I feel like that held me back a lot, like the fear of failure or the fear of doing something and falling on your face or whatever. In that regard, I didn't have the assurity that I have now within myself. So I just kind of felt like everything was, because now I've established myself for the music videos. I'm kind of ready. I'm kind of ready to take it to the next level. And then obviously the COVID thing happened, but like, you know, what can you do? Like, you can't take it personal.
Exactly.
Can't take it personal, man. It's like a worldwide thing, man, isn't it? But yeah, we move, man. We got to carry on being ambitious, man.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. Yeah. I guess, yeah, to be honest, yeah, yeah. Well, I think we was all in the same space. I don't know if it was that 2020 vision, but just feeling, yeah, everything, like, we're gonna go clear. This is it. This is
Yeah,
it, boys.
yeah,
And then, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess, yeah, it's made us learn to, yeah, as you said, like, yeah, relax slash adapt uh, by necessity, and just yeah, have multiple streams, or try and plant seeds to have multiple streams, because you never know how things are gonna go when you're independent.
yeah, 100.
I was gonna say, going on to like, so yeah, you've developed your first film script. So did you, like, was you writing it before lockdown, or was like, yeah, the start of lockdown a perfect time to
So
manifest that?
with this one,
Happen.
you catch me,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah.
It's based on a true story. So I began working with someone that had just come out of prison late last year. He's about our age. He's about 37, something like that. So he got sent down when he was 19. He got life for murder. So what happened? What happened was he killed a guy that that raped his friend's girlfriend. So they basically set the guy up. Managed to get him in a place. Got the girl to ring the guy. The guy turned up, and they beat him with baseball bats. But the guy that I'm working with, he was like the aggressor. The other guy, whose girlfriend it was, he was like smashing up the guy's car or something. So my guy was the one that got sent down for life. So they approached me with the story. Obviously, they said, like, we've got the story, we've got the crux of what we want to do. We can tell you all the aspects of the story, but what we don't have is like the knowledge to be able to put it into a script, and make it work in cinematic format. Because obviously, if you look at anyone's like biopics, Muhammad Ali, if you watch Narcos or whatever, like none of them none of them are perfectly true to life. They have to be dramatized and changed a little bit. So yeah, we sat down, and yeah, I just got information off them, and we just put it into a a palatable script. So we're just trying to get funding now, man. I can't say who's involved, but we've got someone big involved to play a role in it.
Amazing.
Someone. I can't say much.
Yeah. All right, under the wraps, but yeah, nah, that's a mad story. Mad story.
The thing about that story is, so what we're doing, we're making a short film, but essentially it's going to be a series. So it's like a series of short films that are all connected to the people. So I can say the title in it. Yeah, it's called 6 Degrees Separated. So off the theory that everyone's related in some way. So the story is going to go. The story is going to focus on certain characters and protagonists in the It's going to branch off, and our plan is to maybe branch off into different parts of the UK, or whatever, or just kind of like this kind of like never ending kind of branch you know.
Yeah. I mean, in the sense of 6 degrees of separation, you can do that. That's yeah. I've always loved the concept of that, and I guess the little I watch series. Well, I love story anyway, but it's like it's interesting how there's the 6 degrees of like just six different perspectives,
Yeah.
but also just going into six different lives and just as you said, just branching off into their story. So yeah, no, it sounds interesting, man, and that's and it's a in the sense of your visual eye, that's like a not relatively new avenue, but you know what I mean, like doing stories doing narratives, more so than performance-led videos. Connection's going mad. Is it me? No. You still there? Yeah. I don't know if that was my Wi-Fi or yours. I feel like I'm on my.
It was all cutting out then, man.
I don't know. I don't know if that was yours or my Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's cutting a little bit. But I was just saying. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that I could like so you just I guess it's quite a new not a new avenue for you, but that's even you pushing into being I guess more ambitious with more narrative based stories and adding to your visual arm.
Yeah, I mean one thing I would say is that like I feel like my strength as a music video director is someone that likes to put narratives within the pieces. So like, I guess it would be more of a natural progression to me, like to do that because I do like to insert some kind of story in there to some degree, like as opposed to like to go from a director that just films performance videos of
of course.
people in warehouses. Like it might be it might be a bit different to transition, but I always felt like I've had quite skill with weaving stories into stuff. Do you know what I mean? I feel confident that we can do something actually that actually no one has seen in the UK. If I don't, am I going to get told off for speaking about it too much? Yeah, I don't. Do I want to?
You don't need to. You don't need to. It's all good.
No, let me just say one thing. Yeah, so one thing that's massive, not just in the UK, but I guess in the world, is like true crime stories.
Yeah.
So, and something that's massive in the UK at the minute is like looking into street stories and whatever.
Yeah.
But
it is.
What we wanted to do is kind of marry the two together. So at the end of every episode, there's going to be the real life person explaining what happened. So they're all kind of interlinked. Do you know what I mean? So you get that true crime aspect, but you also get the cinematic kind of story version of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds it sounds unique to me. Like even though I don't look too much into like true crime stories per se.
Yeah.
Just off of popular culture of Top Boy and I don't know Blue Story and all of these stories coming out like to as soon as you said what you're doing, I kind of thought about them at first and I was like, all right, that's the current culture of things, so I can see it I can see it working, but in a sense of uniqueness of getting the real life stories of the people that is actually involved in the situation. That feels quite unique.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's like the first time someone's ever done it, but I'm just saying from this area that we're in, this space that we're in, I think people are going to find it interesting and a little bit different. And the story's not fabricated. Like it's not like Blue Story where there's kind of like stuff that happens that's a little bit unbelievable or like come on, it wouldn't quite go down like that. This actually happened. Like, do you know what I mean? So there's that element of it. I'm not trying to we've stayed true to the story as much as we can. Like, obviously, I've added a little bit of comedy, like a little bit of humor here and there, or a little bit of this and that. But like, it's as true to the story as it can be, really. So it's like I haven't tried to funk it up, like, you know, like bear man come, 20 man come, start moonwalking down the road, like they burst into song, like, you know, girls start twerking on top of cars, like it's like real, it's real. Like,
but bro, I mean that could be cold as well, to be honest.
yeah, as I was saying it, I was thinking, oh shit, that's my next concept for a music video. You know what I mean?
You know, like that's my bell going.
Yeah.
Bro, can you get that? But no, so even on that tangent, when I saw Attack the Block years ago, there's something like comedic about it that I just loved.
Yeah.
That I just loved about it. That felt very unique, because I was just like, this could easily just be, you know, one way or another, like, I don't know, just like a mad alien film, or just like a typical like hood film. But it just, I don't know, it just got that sweet spot where it's just like, oh, like this is actually unique.
Yeah, no, I hear that. One of the best films. I mean, what I will say with our short film is there's little bits of comedy in there. It's not really like that. One of the best films that I've seen in recent years was called Blind Spotting. I don't know if you've seen it.
Blind Spot.
Blind Spotting.
Blind Spotting. No, I haven't seen it.
Incredible film. You would love it, man. You would love it, man. It's set in like Compton. So it but it's not a Compton film, if that makes sense. It deals with like issues of gentrification and you know, racism and police brutality and all that type of stuff. And it's the way they've kind of woven in the comedy with the serious aspects, with you know, the friendship between the black and the white guy, like this whole kind. It's a sick film, bro.
Bro, I've wrote it down. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I guess that this might be my longest one still, you know.
Oh, is it? I know, but I can talk, innit?
Yeah, nah, but it's been sick. It's been insightful, man. I would say, just to end it though, all right, two things. So I guess actually that's a bait question. But as we were talking about inspirational films I should watch, what I guess 3 directors that you've been inspired by on your journey, and then let's say after that, what advice would you give to your 15-year-old self about the music game?
Wow. All right, so directors that have inspired me, definitely. I know this sounds kind of like bait for like a film university student, but Fincher, so David Fincher, who, if people don't know, he done stuff like Seven and Fight Club and all that type of stuff. Early Christopher Nolan stuff. So I'm talking like Memento.
Memento,
The Prestige, The Game with Michael Douglas, sick film.
I haven't watched that yet.
I kind of gravitate towards stuff with like mad twists. I really like kind of narratives that makes you think about stuff differently, or you know, like really takes you somewhere and then plonks you somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? So I think eventually that will be the kind of space that I'd want to make films in. But obviously, this opportunity came along to make this one, and I still am excited about it and believe in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Other directors. Can I say like a music?
Cut out a little.
Can I say like a music video?
Yeah, you can say music video directors.
One person I'll give a shout out to, is Chaz Petty. I think I mentioned him on another podcast as well. But Chaz was like, I swear he's been making music videos for years with all the grime guys and all that type of stuff. And really, he was one of the first people that I saw that just had that cinematic quality for our genre. And I kind of followed him ever since, man. He just makes really good stuff. And I think a lot of the time,
Chaz Petty. Name me some video.
Oh man, I can't think of any right off the top of my head, but he's worked with like Gets. He's done a lot for Mike Righteous, Maverick Sabre. He's done some for Chip and that, like the earlier ones, Devlin. Like he's worked with a lot of people.
I'm gonna check him out.
But he really was, because from I think I saw an interview with him, and he was kind of like a self shooter. So really, like the level of videos that he was making, considering he was a self shooter, can only be inspiring to someone like me that's like starting out with a camera, because I'm thinking like, this is the person I want to look up to, like, you know. So yeah, I would say he inspired me to you know, get better at this shit, man, because like it's all a progression, isn't it? Like, and I still
of course.
like it's as soon as I feel like I'm plateauing and I'm not getting any better, that's the point where I'm probably going to get bored with it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm definitely making my best stuff like right now, because I'm in a good zone. I feel more experienced. I can deal with issues that arises on the day a little bit better. You know, like sometimes in the early times you'd panic in it if something's gone wrong, or like it's not going to plan. Like it's just like, oh shit, like, what do I do? Like, now I can kind of, you know, I can kind of deal with it and just take a breath and be like, oh, this shit happened before, man. I know how I'm gonna get around this. Like, it's fine. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, they're my inspirations.
I guess you've indirectly said about advice. But yeah, what advice would you give to your 15-year-old self about getting into the music game?
Man, I think I was writing bars then as well, you know.
Yeah.
Because like, one thing I'll say, like, music wasn't, or like, you know, rap music wasn't really prevalent as much back then. Just in the country as a whole, but also like we came from Bournemouth as well, innit? So you know, there wasn't that many people into rap, but I was always the guy that was into rap at school. Like there was a couple others in that, but like there was more like Tupac was their main source.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, US was dominating back then. UK didn't really fully have a voice. Yeah, it was just UK garage. It's just UK garage and hip hop.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tide slowly turned after So Solid or around that time.
Yeah, it's mad, but yeah, I mean, did they turn at that point? I mean, So Solid went clear, but
it did. To be honest, as you were saying about 10 years ago is when it actually changed.
Yeah.
Back then it was still like, let me just let the token one through.
Yeah. But what
Dizzy through.
Yeah.
Let me just let. All right, So Solid through. All right, 696. We don't want anyone
too
through.
much.
All right.
Yeah.
You know.
But what I would say is even 10 years ago, when you think like you know, there was quite a few rappers that were having chart success, like, you know, N-Dubs or Tinchy or whatever. Like, that's fine, but I feel like people were compromising. Like now you've got people like Fredo, fucking Nines and whatever going in the top 10 in the top 5. So we're not compromising no more. This is like got to the stage in America where this is like hood shit. This is like hood shit.
Yeah. It feels like a golden era.
Yeah.
For UK music. Even like we're talking about charts as like you could say like a meter for success, but even like I remember, you know, when we talked a while back, you saying about doing a video for Children of Zeus.
Yeah.
You know, they've kind of pretty much independent. I know they've got a small label.
What did I say to you? I was going to holler them to do a free video for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because them times that first album they put out, I thought, you know what, like these guys are sick. Like I need to just go and speak to them and just say, look, guys, like I'm all right at making videos. Like let me just make a free one. One. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I wish I would have actually approached them but I think they've kind of got a regular director that they work with anyway. But you know, they might not turn down the free opportunity. You don't know, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was even gonna say, like, even in the sense of the space they're in, they're kind of. I saw them coming up, you know, around the same time as Jungle Brown, but like now, their label situation and their latest album, Balance, is incredible.
Yeah,
they're getting the recognition that they deserve, and it's even for them doing like the way I look at the sound. obviously they're inspired by the 90s,
Yeah.
but it's they're proper in that pocket, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they own it and it's quality
I
music.
mean,
So like I'm just like that. So that's what I'm quite interested in the sense of like, all right, we can look at success for charts, but it's like
mhm.
we're in an interesting time now. It's just like if you just even though it's hard, if you just keep on doing what you do and build your audience,
Yeah.
there's these smaller labels or these smaller situations where you can just um, you can do what you love without compromise of
Yeah.
being on a label XYZ.
Yeah. 100%. I know. Like, I listen to a lot of. I think you said a few months ago that like hip hop or rap has almost become categorized as like alternative rap now.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because I
yeah,
listen to what I consider hip hop or rap, like in the UK. So I'm talking about people like Nux or
yeah, no, sure,
Kojo Radical or
yeah,
um, who else do I listen to? Shay Lingo. Yeah.
yeah,
To me, that's like the most true form of hip hop that we've got in the UK. But
yeah,
somehow, because the other stuff is bubbling, we're calling that alternative rap now. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? But if you look at those guys' streams, or if you look at those guys' opportunities, they're making a decent career out of this,
yeah,
and they're not having to chart. Like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like there's a
yeah,
lot more opportunity now.
yeah,
Like back then,
100%.
those type of rappers would have been like your Skinny Mans or your Task
Yeah,
Forces, like just
yeah,
kind of probably just scraping by. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's the sad part of it. Do you know what I mean? But like,
yeah. But it's
so
interesting when you mention them names. I'm thinking I would have just about said foreign beggars.
mm,
But even what I find fascinating, even though I didn't really used to pre them back then, and obviously one of them's passed quite recently.
yeah, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, but in the sense of like their inspiring journey, that's
yeah.
been cold because they've kind of like they were just really smart with how they just really smart about how they navigated the times. Like when
Mm,
basically when dubstep come along, they were doing tunes with Skrillex before he got big, and it's
mm,
just like oh
mm.
rah, like they so like when I look at like I don't know, Kanye is a funny one, but I feel like to a certain extent, without like compromising your integrity, you have to be like a master of reinvention. My my connection is it cutting out again? You have to be a master of reinvention, like reinventing yourself. Sorry. Um,
Yo,
madness. It cut out again.
can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, I'm here.
You know what it
Yeah.
was? I was on 1% battery, fam. It was trying to turn off the phone.
Oh, mad.
Could you hear me though? Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was just saying about how. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I was just saying how it's quite inspiring how foreign beggars move through the tide.
Yeah.
Because they collaborated with Koji Radical, Maverick Saber, I think. But
Mm,
they've learned how to like navigate there and just move with the sound, but not in a way that's just like, oh, we're doing this just to be bait and keep up. Like actually, because they're invested in just different sounds.
mm.
Um, it's an interesting one. I never really thought about like, all right, where's what's Jess doing? Like, where's the task
Yeah.
force? Da 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 da. But to be honest, the more I look into these things, it seems like half the battle is just, it's just. I wouldn't. To be honest, I don't want to. I don't want to speak where I don't really know too much of the information, but it's a bit, yeah, handling. What was I gonna say? Like the angle of just carrying on and just moving with the times to a certain extent. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to speak where I don't really know too much of that information, but I just like how foreign beggars have done it. That's basically what I'm saying. This is messing. Is it gone? All right, fuck. I don't know what's going on. Yo, Dash, can you hear me? I think it's basically trying to say let's end this. Daz, Yo.
Yo, you still there?
Yeah, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you paused for a long time, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I was waffling about just about how I like how foreign beggars have navigated. Anyway, Pav is doing his own thing now, but I like how they move through the times and just kept it moving. And I was just saying how I think that's half the battle with some of the old school music heads. You could say there's a bit of ego, a bit of like, all right, things are not fully working, a bit of like, I don't know, maybe personal issues, but I don't know. I can't speak for people that I don't know, but I just liked how foreign beggars navigated through the times.
Mm. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Sometimes you got to adapt, man.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson for adapting in the times, man.
Yeah. And as I was saying, just like, when I've looked at Kanye, when I've looked at even pop artists, like you start to realize there's like a thread where it's just like you have to be a master of reinventing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, obviously, it's about you and your integrity. So I love the fact that Jeremy, or even Skepta, like Skepta, that actually, let's talk about Skepta. His comeback was like, nah, I don't need to do all this over here. That's not me. I'm a grime artist, and this is who I am. This is what I do. This is my sound,
Mm-hmm.
and that's powerful. So I think it's just like at the end of the day, whatever you do, own it, because if you're just jumping on a bandwagon and you don't look like you're owning it, then you're just gonna be sussed out, and that's just baiting. You're not gonna you're not gonna have longevity. Like
Yeah,
if you're really about it, yeah, people are gonna
Mm-hmm.
see it. So, but anyway, what we're supposed to end on, just before your battery runs out or my battery runs out, it's just like, yeah, what's the actual advice you'll give your 15-year-old self? Regardless, I don't know if it's about, let's weave in about whether it's the music game or just essentially being an independent artist as you are. Like, what advice would you give your 15-year-old self?
I mean, there's plenty of advice I could have given myself at 15, mate.
15-year-old self at this time, maybe, rather than thinking about the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I would say just man, because I can't even say that I haven't. So I've always kind of been creatively working, but there's a difference between creatively working and taking it serious. What I figured, like when my son was born, like 6 years ago, then I kind of went like, I can't fuck around no more. Like this is not just like a little again. I have to. So what I would say is I kind of, if I'm being honest, kind of feel like I wasted my 20s, like not really trying that hard. Like I was still like putting out music and all this kind of stuff, but I don't think I was really like, to some people are like, oh man, your work rate's crazy, like, but I know like I didn't try as much as I could have tried. Like, no way. Like, so I guess, and I think part of it was self-belief. You know, I was comfortable being known of to a certain degree, but when it got a little bit too far, like I didn't want it to go too far. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that, you know, like if I could say to my 15-year-old self, I wasn't really into music like that at that point, putting out music at least. But I would just say just believe in the vision and the journey, man, because like, and also like believe in the journey, but also understand that sometimes the journey can change. Like sometimes you might walk down a dead end, so you just got to navigate to another point that gets to the same destination. Like it's just a different route. So that's what I done with the music. I just realized that I can't just like, if I do this for another 5 years, I might still be around the same position. So what I have to do is just come out a little bit, go down that camera lane, yeah, and then like, you know, we'll get to the same point where I wanted to be, because I always just wanted to be involved in the music industry and working in music. So that's what I do. Like I work in the music industry. I'm just not a rapper. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, no, solid. Don't tell me it's cutting out again.
I
You
can
hear
hear
me?
you. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Yeah, no, solid advice. Yeah, no, I relate to that 100%. And even more, like when you mentioned about taking it seriously just before,
Mm,
it reminded me of hearing Anderson .Paak talk about his journey.
mm.
Because basically he brought out his album Malibu
Yeah, yeah.
when his kid was born, and he was like, oh, you know what? Nah, I gotta take this seriously. And I think he had a mentor just like, nah, look,
I was,
you can be doing all of this other stuff, but you just need to lock yourself in a room and take this seriously.
mm,
And then he made Malibu, and then boom, like his life changed. So that focus to be
yeah,
like, nah, you know what? That trigger to be like, oh, let me take this seriously is a big deal, and self belief is a big deal. So yeah,
100%.
bro.
And yeah, I will always say that my kid changed my life, man, and gave me drive and focus, like 1,000%, like
Mm,
1,000% changed me as a person. So like all
mm,
I've had more success, like I've had more success since he was born than all of my years before he was born, and I've had way less time and money because like, I have to pay for him and I have to look after him. So like that proves that
yeah,
I wasn't trying hard before, innit? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That yeah. To be honest, even I've like yeah, there's no baby on the way for me just yet, but in the sense of like being the age that I am, being with my partner, um,
Yeah,
even the way I'm looking at the next 3 years, like I'm getting ready in it. So I'm just like that's why I'm looking at certain things like all right, like I love my progression with the rapping, but in a sense of looking at my streams and where money's coming from,
yeah,
it's like let's just like calm this down a little bit. As I said, I've done like 2 albums in the in the last year anyway. Let me just calm this down a little bit. But in the sense of
mm,
like at the end of the day, over here, social services are actually wanting to put a platform for young people,
yeah,
and they've got the money. It's like actually, I don't think anyone's thinking of like basically behind the scenes. I'm thinking of creating a Care Leavers record label,
mm,
um, and it's not necessarily for profit of a record label. It's more so the fact that same same mantra that I started with. If hip hop is the voice of the voiceless, why have I never heard from the perspective of someone in care? It's like, all right,
yeah,
if these local authorities support that message and they got talented young people, but they don't know how the know-how and the knowledge to put them on a platform. And it's like, look, I've got enough experience, some care experience. Like I've been in the music game. If there's funds, like we can make it work. I could share all my knowledge to actually make this work.
mm,
So like that's where I'm going with things. It's just like, yeah, let's put a platform for others. Um, I'll still need my creative outlet, but it's not a thing where it's just like, oh, I'm not gonna stress myself on making money from that because I'm in a position now where I'm like, I'm grateful that I've got this freelance job that gives me flexibility. I'm grateful
mm,
that I've got this platform with music and this knowledge that's like, all right, let me help others with, and the rest of it to see how it goes. But definitely, since since getting engaged and knowing that I was going to do it and slash thinking about the next few years of
mm,
family, it's like, nah, this shit's getting real now. Um,
yeah. Sick, man.
yeah,
Congratulations, by the way, man.
yeah, thank you, man. But yeah, bro, it's been a pleasure. Um,
Pleasure, my bro.
yeah, this might be the longest one I've done. I hopefully the way Instagram is, I'm not sure if it's gonna save it, but hopefully it saves. And yeah, I usually do like a little what do you call it, like timestamp of all the key points.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But this one's gonna be a long one to get through. I might have to upload it to YouTube first, then put it on double time, just quickly put
Mm.
the what we're talking about through each part. But
Yeah,
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 bro,
yeah.
it's been a pleasure, and hopefully this gives gems to the next generation about yeah, being an independent artist, independent music video director, and what you got coming up next. So yeah, bro, thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Cool, brother. Good chat, man.
Alright, alright, G. Alright, and yeah, the creative hub. To me, I'm taking work off next week to like home into what my plan is. But
Yeah.
let me know your progress behind the Creative Hub, and you know, maybe there might be some crossover there.
Yeah, 100%.
Because yeah, because obviously I'm based in the East as well, so maybe we can do a collab and make it work. So I'll chat to you when I've fleshed out my plan anyway.
Yeah, yeah. All right, wicked, brother.
All right, G.
Cool, man.
All right,
All
man.
right. See you, man.
All right, stay blessed. All right, bye.